Welcome everyone. Hope everyone had a wonderful week. We had the schus today. Today I'm recording on Wednesday. We had the schus this morning of welcoming to Briso Shel Avram Avinu, a new grandchild, Amitai Yair, to my son and his wife, Chaim and Tamima. Chaim and Tamima got married on June 1st of last year, and Baruch Hashem, less than a year later, a new child. And I wanted to share an idea that I shared this morning at the bris, that I shared with my son and daughter-in-law, and perhaps relevant to all of us. So in the beginning of this week's Parshas Emor, the Torah tells us that there are unique halachos that apply to a Kohen. He cannot be metame lameis. And then the Torah says, Lo yikrechu korcha berosham. He's not allowed to pull out hairs out of his head as a sign of avelus. If he loses Rahman al a relative, is an isser of Lo yikrechu korcha berosham. Now, interestingly, this is not an isser that's only mentioned that's unique to Kahuna. There's other parshas which indicate that this isser of pulling out hairs, al hameis, as a sign of avelus, is relevant to all of Klal Yisrael. Yet for some reason, the Torah repeats it over here when it comes to the Kohen. Why? This is a halacha that is not unique to Kohen. It is relevant to every member of Klal Yisrael, and indeed, it is said elsewhere and applies to all of Klal Yisrael. So I heard from my Rabbi, Rav Yonason Sachs Shlita, that yes, indeed, the isser of balding oneself, ripping out your hair in anguish, is an isser for every member of Bnei Yisrael. However, as a Kohen, the very same isser, because of the unique stature of the Kohen, because of his kedusha, because of his elevated position in society, that very same isser takes on new meaning. The bar is raised. He is held even more responsible. He is in elevated status, and therefore the ordinary dinim that apply to all of Knesset Yisrael, yes, they apply to him as well, but they apply to him ratcheted up. The bar is raised. And that's something that's a very striking idea. The stronger we get, the more elevated we get, the more we grow, yes, the standards are even higher, even for the ordinary halacha. So I shared with my son and his daughter-in-law, and my daughter-in-law, I shared with them this idea that on a certain level, when you emerge as a young couple, you get married, and it's just a husband and wife, yes, there are obvious, very significant responsibilities in Shmiras HaMitzvos, in being there for each other in every sense of the word. But now all of a sudden a young couple develops, and they're no longer just a young couple. They bring a child into the world. They now are transformed. That child has transformed this young couple into a family. That child has transformed this husband and wife into a mother and father. Wholly different levels. And now the bar is raised. And the Shmiras HaMitzvos are not just ordinary Shmiras HaMitzvos. Now it's role modeling. It's being a mechanech. It's being a parent. It's being an educator to one's children. And that's a whole new level of Shmiras HaMitzvos. We're doing the same exact mitzvahs, the same davening, the same Shabbos, the same chesed, the same brachos. Yet, now all of a sudden, it's in the context of a mishpach, in the context of being a parent to a child, a whole new level. And that's the message. As we grow and elevate ourselves be'ez Hashem from year to year, from day to day, from week to week. So as we grow, the bar is raised. The standard is raised. The same exact mitzvahs that we may have been doing for the past 20 years, 30 years. But yes, now as we grow be'ez Hashem, the standards, the expectations, the ability to achieve even more is upon us. So we should be zoche to appreciate the unique mitzvahs of Kahuna, but they're not just. We are mamleches kohanim v'goy kadosh. They apply to us just as well. As we grow, we have the same exact mitzvahs that we take to a higher and higher level. Have a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh.